Welcome everybody to my Leo new moon. This is Psychic Krystaline, and I'm doing an update on the Leo new moon Lionsgate portal that we're going to have on Sunday of this week, August 8th, on the 8th month. So we're having this 8/8 portal, Lionsgate. And so actually the new moon is actually going to be conjunct perfectly at 6:50 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So adjust for where you're at in the world. But it's going to also be conjunct at 16 degrees of Leo. And so check in your chart where this new moon might be hitting, at 16 degrees within a degree or two. And honestly, I bet you guys are going to be feeling it a lot, especially Leo would feel this, but all of us have been going through this big shift. And so I'm kind of excited to have this new portal, new energy. And I almost feel like all of this, there's a lot of planets in retrograde. So we're kind of been going through a lot of healing, regrouping, reprocessing, and now we're starting to rebuild this creative energy. And what's awesome about the Leo new moon is Leo is all about the heart connection, and they're ruled about creativity. Like they have a strength for being super creative. And so in order for us to be creative, we need to block or unblock emotional problems, purge things, like get rid of things. We need to raise our vibration in order to feel creative. And Leo is all about being creative and speaking right now because we actually have Mercury conjunct on this new moon. So we have this opportunity to speak with courage and speak with conviction, and try and do it gracefully as we can, because, sometimes we impulsively will want to communicate because we are also having a square with Uranus, which brings this sudden, unexpected energy, very lightning quick too. So this could be a time where mid-August, you guys might hear from somebody out of the blue, or an idea will come to you out of the blue. It's a great dramatic time to have that courage to set intentions, speak from your heart when you are setting an intention. And it's the best time to set our intentions for creative goals, anything that is your heart's passion. Anything outside of the box too, because we actually have this electrifying, that Uranus square can help amplify, and it's this innovative energy. So why not kind of use it while we have it around? Okay, so yeah, sudden changes or news could show up. Okay, so I also want to get into more of a little bit of the astrology and the weaknesses of Leo's placements on a health spectrum. I'm not a doctor. I've just done a lot of reading on astrology and each sign and where that weakness is. And I became obsessed with it because of my crystal knowledge and learning about the trace elements in these minerals and how they can help us heal on an emotional, spiritual, physical level. So, and in no way am I a doctor, but I do know, and I've read, Leo is ruled by the heart. They have a weakness in the heart. So any herbs, crystals, things that are supportive for the heart system of the body would be really good, like supplement with eating beets, anything that has iron, things that will fortify your blood and strengthen your heart. Get the cardio up, go on a hike. That's a great way to get your heart pumping, but kind of be supportive of the heart on an emotional level too. Like we've all been through hell and back this year. I know it. Pluto's forcing a lot of these changes. So what I want to do next is kind of just read real quick that channeled information from Elias Lonsdale. It's not anything that I've channeled, but I resonate with everything he has. This is Leo at 16 degrees. And then after that, I'm going to pull cards. So stick around. I'm going to raise the vibration with this crystal bowl. And if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you crystal suggestions that will help us through this transit of the 8/8 Leo portal that we're going through right now. Okay. And so let's read it. Okay. So Leo at 16 degrees. A red-faced man, tears running down his cheeks. He's laughing convulsively, in the warp between worlds, being a representative of one world in the midst of another, and being almost invisible, tending to disappear off screen and reappear somewhere else. So some of us might be kind of getting off Facebook, getting off social media. I know it's healthy to take breaks, so that's kind of funny. tending to disappear off screen and reappear somewhere else, transported. Maybe we're forced to kind of get back into in-person interactions because of COVID. We're finally a little bit having some of that freedom coming back to us. Transported by a special destiny, slipping by the border guards. As the uproar happens, the deep observer looks on at the role that itself is playing, which is so incongruous to who one truly is truly. But the karmic instructions are to play along, and later all shall be revealed. And we've been dealing with this karmic stuff. I've talked about it in my previous readings with the eclipse cycles, and they last for 6 months. So a lot of karmic, I'm getting chills on this, a lot of karmic endings and beginnings. A lot of us are having brave new starts right now in our lives, and we need to do it. Okay, let's finish. This is a very peculiar soul connection. Taking all of those loose ends and finishing them off to be sprung into a different realm at last. So it's kind of saying we're tying up these loose ends, and we can't have a fresh start, go on to that next realm until we simplify. I wonder, now I'm curious what cards we're going to pick, but I did pick simplify. When was it? Just like a few days ago, we had something happening astrology wise, and I just felt drawn to pull the cards, and yeah, simplicity came up, and of course that makes sense. Okay, so let's call in Archangel Uriel, my ancestors, the Holy Spirit, anybody in the best highest good that's here to assist my followers here on YouTube, Psychic Krystaline. For me, all of whoever's here to help in our highest good, please join us, and let's welcome them with the crystal ball. And also, this crystal ball is tuned to the crown chakra, so it's going to help us open up to the spiritual information coming through. I just love pulling that energy in, and I just get chills. It goes through your whole body. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us and assisting us. So let's see what the cards will pull. So we always start with the angel cards, and you know, this month I decided I'm gonna pull 3 of those into the garden cards, because lately I've noticed that when I pull 3 of them together, that the message always kind of goes together, and it's a little bit more in depth, and I'm getting to know the cards better and trusting that sometimes there's a little more that needs to be said. It kind of goes together, and it brings us a little bit more focus to the message. Okay, so angels, please help us figure out what message we need to hear. What do we need to know about this brave Leo 888 new moon? Oh, of course, I love this card. So honesty. So like I was saying earlier, right now it's the time to be courageous and speak your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if you know it's going to hurt somebody. Being honest now is going to save that pain from later, and you're actually going to heal yourself by just coming clean. So it's time to be honest with yourself about what you really want and what you want from others, and to articulate that. So let's see here if this will fit, kind of. All right, so now these lovely into the garden cards. So let's see what we're going to hear from Spirit. I love it. These cards are so fun. All right. All right, so the first card we're getting, Discover. So, Discover. I'm going to just show it to you real quick. Looks like there's kind of a lot of a reflection. I don't think you'll even be able to see it. So I'll just read it to you. Discover. Look at the early dewdrops before they disappear with the morning sun. So it's kind of telling us to take opportunities before they're gone. Like, you know, a lot of times astrology and things can be on our side, but we kind of have to stop procrastinating I'm the worst procrastinator, but I'm still doing my thing here. And I know all of us could have a little help, looking at those, getting an early start too. Like, look at the early dewdrops before they disappear. So it's kind of like if you don't pay attention to those little magical moments, they're going to be disappearing and gone. And that would be sad. We don't want to do that. Okay, so let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more of these. See what we're getting here. Oh, this one's popping out. Oh my God. I pulled the same card the other day too. Change is afloat. So change, new moons are a perfect time for change and setting new intentions. And like I was saying, like Pluto's been forcing change upon a lot of us. So it's saying change. As with the falling leaves, embrace change. Don't be scared of it. Like, change is where, I think we picked wisdom last month, but where we're going through hard times and growth is where we get wise, but we also have to have the courage once we receive that wisdom to make changes and act on those changes, because we're the creators of our destiny, dude. If we're not changing it, we're just gonna like repeat that cycle and we're not gonna grow our soul. Like, well, let's see what pops out next, because of course that was so freaking good. I got chills again. Thank you, Spirit. So what else would we need to see here? Leo new moon, 888. Patience. Oh God. Well, with change, you do need to be patient. Okay, it's saying wait for the fruit to ripen. Like I was saying, we could be procrastinators, we can act on things and do all this stuff, but it's also kind of reminds me of, I think it's the Eight of Pentacles. I'm not like a huge tarot person. I follow a lot of tarot stuff and I read it, but it's not my forte. I do pendulum and these other oracle cards, but kind of reminds me of that, where that, you're plugging away at your craft. You're doing like me. I'll upload a video. As long as you're taking those baby steps and being patient, like the universe will give you what is in its due time, supposedly. God only knows when things are really meant to be. Like, we can have an idea, but we also have to be patient and open for the universe to bring it. They know better than us. So, that's also very humbling. So patience. All right. So I'm going to do one more card here, and we're going to pull the Ted Andrews bird totem, which I always love. So let's see what our bird friends have to say. And we'll check out this too. So let's see here. And I'm kind of excited to get to the crystal info, so come on, Spirit. Give us some good, inspiring info from our bird friends. Actually, I'm going to pull from the bottom. It just was calling me. Whoa, it's saying preening. I don't know what preening, I know what pruning means, but the picture on the card is two birds that are kind of like cleaning at each other and picking at each other. So this is kind of, the message on it is saying attend to your own needs. And basically, with change, with all of these things that we're going through, we have to put ourselves first. Like, part of change is simplifying things. Oh no, we didn't pick simplify, we picked honesty. But simplify came up earlier somehow, I remember. But anyway, it's saying attend to your own needs. So put yourself first so that you're able to get into this new phase of change in your life. Otherwise, you're not going to be grounded and be able to really kind of bring it to the world at your fullest, strongest potential. So that's super important too. I mean, it's not a selfish thing. And it's interesting that it's coming up on the Leo, this Leo energy, because Leos are very known to be arrogant and have that ego, and it's like telling you focus on you right now. So, I mean, it doesn't mean it has to be bad. Like, it's good. Like, in order for us to help anyone else, like, we have to feel good about ourselves. So we have to rebuild, re-nurture ourselves. Okay. And so that's it for the crystal, or not the crystal information, but all of the cards. So now what I want to do is I'm excited to kind of share my crystal suggestion for the month, which this crystal actually has a strong Pluto purging energy, but what it's great for, it's Sugilite, Sugilite. And here's kind of a rough specimen of a nice, pretty jelly piece. And so it's a hexagonal crystal, which is similar, it grows with quartz. So you could see in this crystal here, like the Sugilite and the quartz are kind of growing together, and that's what they would call a high quality gel, Sugilite. And this necklace here, I'm not sure, you could kind of see like through the light, they're transparent. So these are all Sugilite in different forms. But what Sugilite is going to do for me, what it's done for me in the past, about 10 years ago, like when I was having my last Jupiter return, I got obsessed with Sugilite. And that's kind of like when the psychic stuff took over my life, basically. I started finding all these missing people, and I was just like, I guess this is my path. And I know that Sugilite had a huge part in this. So what Sugilite does is it raises our vibration. It helps us have the courage to purge things out of our life so that we can be around more positive. Like as our vibration changes, our vibration raises, change happens, and that means the people around us change too. And so it has to start within. And so what's awesome about Sugilite is it just, I love it. Just even when I hold it, it can give me chills. Like it's just, it's the most powerful psychic stone. But what we want to do in order to be creative and to have the energy for these creative projects is we need to raise our vibration. Nobody can be creative and set intentions when they're depressed or tired or not feeling inspired. And so what Sugilite does is it helps us have that inspiration, and even like insights might come to you psychically. Like you might just wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, like that's what I love about stones is they work in mysterious ways. All you have to do is have them in your energetic field, and they just kind of work their medicine. But I am so thankful to Sugilite and all of that, psychic energy that she shared with me. So I've been able to help like 10 people, I've helped 10 families basically to locate 10 people. And I know it's the help of my ancestors and, my soul. It's coming from the information from my soul. But I just know that these stones are a big, huge part of it, and especially Sugilite, for raising our psychic vibration. And the world needs more of this. We're moving into the Aquarius age. Like we need to come up with new, innovative, creative things to do to help our whole country, our whole world. We need to unify. And so individually, the more we raise our vibration, it's going to naturally happen. And so I guess that's what I have to share on this Leo 888 new moon. And I hope this was helpful. I love you guys so much. And I really appreciate any comments, suggestions, shares. I'm new still on YouTube, but I'm trying to build some momentum in a community here where we can help each other raise our vibrations and live to our true path and set those intentions. Why not? We have so much power. So much love to all of you, and thanks so much. Hugs, kisses, and take care.